The 1980s was a glorious time. Let's see what beautiful black women graced our screens and stages in the year of our Lord. Born in 1963, Whitney Houston rose to fame as one of the best-selling music artists of all time. Her mother was Grammy-winning gospel singer Sissy. Her mother worked with other iconic singers like Aretha Franklin and Jimi Hendrix. At the age of 12, she told her mom that she wanted to be a singer, and surrounded by as many powerhouses of the music industry as she was, Whitney was bound to succeed. She was the first artist to have 7 consecutive #1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. She passed away in 2012 at the age of 48 as a result of an accidental drowning. Sade, born in 1959, is renowned for her smooth voice and unique blend of soul, jazz, and R&B. She was born in Nigeria and moved to England at the age of 4. She captivated audiences with hits like Smooth Operator and The Sweetest Taboo. A fascinating tidbit about her is that she took a hiatus from the music industry between 1993 and 2000, returning with the critically acclaimed album Lovers Rock. She has taken 3 hiatus in her entire career, and each was longer than the next. This was back when artists would disappear to focus on their art, and she came back to keep dropping great music. Denise Katrina Matthews, known by her stage name Vanity, was a singer, actress, and model. She was the lead singer of the group Vanity 6. Her father, who passed away when she was 15, would physically and verbally abuse her. As she grew older, this contributed to her low self-esteem and broken sense of self-image. For a brief moment in the 80s, she was dating Prince, and they collaborated on a few songs during their relationship. After a near-fatal drug overdose in 1994, she turned her life around and became a born-again Christian, dedicating her later years to evangelism. Sadly, she passed away in 2016 due to renal failure. Stay tuned for the powerhouse women of Black Hollywood. Don't miss out. Subscribe and ring the bell to celebrate their achievements with us. Grace Jones is a Jamaican-American singer, model, and actress, known for her androgynous style and avant-garde music. In the 80s, she made waves with her bold fashion statements and hit songs like Pull Up to the Bumper and Slave to the Rhythm. She started out as a model and later transitioned into music and acting, starring in the film Vamp in 1986 as Katrina. In recent years, she's returned to her fashion roots and has been working at People magazine since 2022. Formed in 1971, Sister Sledge is an American vocal group composed of 4 sisters: Debbie, Joni, Kim, and Kathy. They shot to fame in the 70s and 80s with disco anthems like We Are Family and He's the Greatest Dancer. Their breakout hit, We Are Family, became an unofficial anthem for the Pittsburgh Pirates during their 1979 World Series championship season. Their sister Joni passed away in September of 1956. In 1989, Kathy decided that she would leave the group and pursue a solo career. Kim left in 2019 and Debbie replaced her with their younger sister, Camille. Tina's birth name is Anna Mae Bullock. She got the stage name from her husband, Ike Turner, who she met when performing at local nightclubs. When the marriage turned abusive, she left him and fought to keep her stage name for her career during the divorce. In the end, she made herself one of the greatest stars the world has ever known by reclaiming her name in every way and establishing herself as the Queen of Rock and Roll. She passed away at the age of 83 in 2023 from years of illness involving intestinal cancer and kidney issues. Lisa Velez, known as Lisa Lisa, was the lead singer of the 80s group Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam. With infectious tracks like Head to Toe and Lost in Emotion, they became synonymous with freestyle and dance pop. She was born in 1967 in Hell's Kitchen, New York, as the youngest of 10 children. She started her music career at the age of 14, traveling with Motown singers, singing in the church choir and Broadway musicals. She was an A student in school and she studied alongside some of the future members of the Irish criminal organization known as the Westies. Karyn White, born in 1965, gained fame in the late 80s with her self-titled debut album, featuring hits like Superwoman and The Way You Love Me. She started her music career as a backing singer on multiple albums of many artists before being signed to Warner Bros. And finally being albumed to create her own music and first album. She transitioned from music to entrepreneurship, launching her own interior design firm and beauty product line, showcasing her versatility beyond the realm of entertainment. She left music altogether in 1995 and only returned in 2012. Cherelle is an R&B singer who rose to prominence in the mid-80s through collaborations with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. She had Billboard hits like Saturday Love and Everything I Miss at Home. She is the niece of legendary soul singer Aretha Franklin. Her voice of singing was coined as light and airy soprano by music critics, and no one has yet been able to recreate her exact vocal technique. Janet was born in 1966 as the youngest member of the Jackson family. She picked up an interest in music after being influenced by the rest of her family, and especially her father, to get into the music industry. In 1986, she left home and began her independent solo music career. She released the album Control with Jimmy Jam S&D Terry Lewis, and she became an overnight sensation as the album catapulted to #1 on the charts. After an unpleasant concert incident in 2004, she has been growing her career back through film and television appearances, as well as concerts. She recently had a son at 50 years old. Chaka Khan, born in 1953, is an iconic singer-songwriter known for her powerful vocals and genre-defying music. In the 80s, she dominated the charts with hits like I Feel For You and Through the Fire, earning multiple Grammy Awards in the process. She grew up in a Beatnik household in the Hyde Park area of Chicago. Being the oldest of 5 children, her younger sibling followed in her footsteps once she started to pursue a musical career. Her brother formed a band, and her sister performed as Taka Boom. Sheila E, born in 1957, is a versatile musician known for her proficiency in percussion, vocals, and songwriting. Her father was a fairly prolific drummer in the music scene, and she picked up all of her skills and experiences in music from him. She started out as the girl drummer for the Jorgaduka band, and after separating from them in 1983, pursued her own independent music career. In the 80s, she collaborated with Prince and released solo hits like The Glamorous Life and A Love Bizarre. Angela Bofill is known for her jazz-infused R&B music. In the 80s, she scored hits like I Try and Tonight I Give In. In 2006, she suffered a stroke, and the left side of her body became completely paralyzed. Without health insurance, she fell into a lot of medical debt after the incident and still required speech and physical therapy. Rich Engel decided to create a benefit concert for her to raise money for her medical bill through ticket sales. In July of 2007, she suffered a second, more violent stroke, which left her speech and mobility impaired. She hasn't been able to sing professionally since. In the 80s, Jody achieved success as a member of the group Shalimar before embarking on a solo career, producing hits like Looking for a New Love and Real Love. When she was 14 years old, she appeared on the TV dance show Soul Train, and that moment marked her entrance into the world of professional music and dance. As soon as she launched her solo career, she won a Grammy Award for Best New Artist and has since been nominated for 3 Grammys. The majority of her influence in the music industry has to do with her innovations in the fashion industry. She has appeared in Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, Essence, and Vanity Fair. In the 80s and 90s, Regina captured audiences with hits like Baby Come to Me and Make It Like It Was. She sang her first solo in her local church when she was 8, Her parents sent her to an art high school and she studied instruments like steel drums and the trombone. She went to university to study opera and became the first female vocalist in her school's jazz group. She also found success in the gospel music genre, winning a Grammy Award for Best Traditional Gospel Album in 2009. Formed in 1969, the Pointer Sisters were an R&B disco girl group that achieved mainstream success in the 80s. They scored major hits like I'm So Excited and Jump for My Love, earning multiple Grammy Awards in the process. They grew up in West Oakland with very religious parents who always encouraged them to only sing gospel music. They described secular music as the devil's music. However, as the sisters grew up, their interest in other styles of music grew as well. They formed a trio and decided to fully pursue a career in the mainstream music industry. Bonnie and June suffered from drug addiction, and June passed away from cancer in 2006. In 2020, Bonnie passed away, and 2 years later, Anita passed away from cancer. Phyllis Hyman released critically acclaimed albums like You Know How to Love Me and Living All Alone, earning her a devoted fan base. She spent most of her early career jumping from one band to another, each eventually disbanding. She only achieved great success after releasing her first solo album in 1977. She struggled with depression throughout her life and was finally diagnosed with bipolar disorder in the 1980s. However, she was unresponsive to therapy and medication. On June 30th of 1995, she was scheduled to perform at the Apollo. Someone found her unconscious in the bedroom of her New York City apartment, and it was later announced that she had died from suicide. In the 80s, Pebbles achieved commercial success with hits like Girlfriend and Mercedes Boy. She worked in real estate for a few years before getting an $8,000 deal for the song Mercedes Boy. She later transitioned to a career in music management and production, launching the careers of artists like TLC. Irene's career was skyrocketed to fame by her performances in the films Fame and Flashdance, earning Academy Awards for Best Original Song. She was the first African-American woman to win an Academy Award in the category of Best Original Song. She started out her career as a child star in Spanish-speaking shows, and her father, who was a retired saxophonist, encouraged and supported her in pursuing a career in music. Stephanie started out in her Baptist church in Bed-Stuy, singing gospel music. Shortly after, she began a professional singing career at the age of 9, appearing in Broadway musicals and winning the Apollo Theater Amateur Night 6 weeks in a row at the age of 11. Stephanie Mills is a powerhouse vocalist known for her Broadway performances and chart-topping hits. In the 80s, she achieved success with songs like Never Knew Love Like This Before and The Medicine Song. She originated the role of Dorothy in the Broadway musical The Wiz, earning critical acclaim and a Tony Award for her performance. For a brief moment in the 2000s, she dated Michael Jackson. Click on this next video to appreciate more of the greatest stars of Black Hollywood and their contributions to the industry.